There are still some, however, who prefer to split their time between living in France and the UK. This is Lieutenant Colonel John Walter Molyneux-Child, Lord of Deadswell and Papworth, who spends half the year in a manor house in Surrey and the other half in an equally stunning home in France, near the village of Duras, with his right-hand woman, Midge. Today, in retirement, he's still flying the flag for the UK. Indeed, it's one of the first things he does when he arrives back in France.
Yes, I'm putting up the flag this afternoon to say we've in residence, having just arrived, and everyone knows we're here. It's quite a still day today, but still worth having the flag on the flagpole. I think it's very important. If people need us, then it's the signal we're here.
The Colonel bought Le Manoir de Tachau 11 years ago, when it was little more than a ruin.
Like most things in my life, it was a game of chance. My sister had a barn conversion that they had been working on in the nearest village, Lubersac, and we were walking one lovely evening and we saw this wreck. Once we found the price, we were absolutely amazed how cheap it was.
Indeed, the manor cost just £56,000.
We had 54 French artisans working with an extremely high standard in renovating the entire property over 7 months.
Since buying the manor, the Colonel has also acquired the attached land and buildings, including 2 fishing lakes. The whole estate is now worth over £700,000.
This is really the pièce de résistance of the entire Tachau estate. You've got this lovely lake, which is heavily stocked with carp.
It's also a great draw for the holidaymakers who stay in the Colonel's 3 Gites inside the estate, which are rented out during the summer season. Indeed, there's a whole host of facilities available to guests, including a swimming pool and their own personal reading room.
We have a library, which is well stocked with books. We've just had new shelves constructed because we've been given a lot more books, and we've also had a delivery of books here, which we've ordered.
We'll be back with the Colonel later in the show when his celebrity status in the Dordogne becomes clear.
I haven't a clue who they are, but they greet you warmly and very pleasant all round.
After recently arriving at his summer estate for 6 glorious months in France, the Colonel and his companion Midge have been kept extremely busy. They're getting ready to welcome holidaymakers who stay in their 3 Gites. As we all know, first impressions are of the utmost importance, so today, Midge, who's a professional artist, is refreshing the Colonel's coat of arms.
When you arrive to your gîte, the first thing you're going to see with the gates opening is a nice, smart, well-painted coat of arms, rather than something terribly faded in the hot sunshine that we have here each year.
It has to be done every year, otherwise it fades and you really can't see the detail. And of course, as we all know, the devil's in the detail.
With the coat of arms looking shipshape and the flag flying high, there's no doubt that the Colonel is back in town. So it's time for a trip to the local market to catch up with all manner of old friends and associates.
Merci, très bien. Most of the people we know are here the year round, so we get a very nice reception when we appear. We've almost been forgotten, and then all of a sudden we're not forgotten anymore. And the Monday market is when I meet most of the people. Oh, bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Oh, très bien.
And he certainly seems to be well known in the area, I'll give him that.
I know quite a lot of the people by sight. I haven't a clue who they are, but they greet you warmly and very pleasant all round. Everyone's very courteous here.
After a busy afternoon socialising, just time for the Colonel and Midge to drop in on one of the local restaurants to check standards are still up to scratch.
You will have it later in the season. What we're doing here is we've got to assess 6 restaurants for the people that come from our gîtes to make certain it's of a good standard of food. It's important to come round.
I'd quite like a job like that. Any chance, old boy?
Here you go.
Ah, merci, très bien. Perfect. The meal was delicious. We'll definitely be recommending it to our locataires that stay on the gîtes.
So, with the preparations for his guests going to plan, the Colonel can now look forward with gusto to his summer in France.
Look at the wonderful sunshine, brilliant people, Everything is absolutely perfect now.